What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream, people. And I am back, people. I am back. I had a very quiet week last week on the channel, not just because, to be fair, like it was one of the quietest news weeks that I have ever seen as an Arsenal fan. Like there was literally hardly anything to talk about. On top of that, the cold had me, struggling. So yeah, I had to take a break. Was about to report. Nah, man, trust me. Number one, I don't like to force content. I always say that if nothing's happening, let's not, back it and put out, videos for no reason. But if things are happening, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. It has been a boring one. This one, it has been my favorite part-time streamer. I am full-time, but part-time during the international break. I can't like what has. Let's be real, people. What was there to talk about last week? If you wanted me to sit down for 1 hour and do a show, how many things could I have spoken about last week? David Raya, new contract, couple other bits and bobs. There was nothing there. I'm not one of these content creators who's just going to force content, for the sake of it. That's not why I set this channel up. So I'd rather take a few days off. And sometimes you need a break. You realize you're staring at a screen every day. Just take a little break, let your mind focus. And we're back. But not a lot has happened. You haven't missed a lot. So big up to everyone. Hope you're all well. Hope you had a good week. At least we know now by the end of this week, club football will be back, of course. We have still got to get through the international break for this week. But yeah, man, we'll be there, people. We'll be there. Big up the whole C unit. Hope everyone is well. And yeah, man, looking forward to the show today. We are going to do a couple of other shows this week. Hey, top of the FPL. Jeez, man, I'm nowhere. I think I'm about 500 or something. I think this is about 2,500 people in it. And yeah, the last week as well, I had a stinker because I got all caught up in Arsenal. I thought, you know what? West Ham at home. I went Gyökeres. I went Eze. I went heavy on Arsenal, and the attacking players didn't come through for me, man. So yeah, the last week it didn't work out, unfortunately. But yeah, big up to everyone. A couple of shows I want to try and do this week is I wanted to do the best Arsenal 11 of the Emirates and the worst Arsenal 11 of the Emirates. I'm going to try and do that. The 100K stream. Do you know why I delayed that? I wanted to try and get people on and make it a big show, but I think we'll just do a show, try and get one or two people on, give away a couple bits to the community and keep it moving. Otherwise it'll be, that kit won't even be in date anymore by the time I give that away. I've just got the Eze shirt upstairs, people. Cold Wall merch is fire. When's yours getting delivered? No, I ain't going near that. I'm not going near that, bro. I can't lie. You'll be at 200K for the 100K stream. Yeah, I can't lie. Oh, Jamaica. You get like there's a reason they call that guy Wally with the brolly. Wally with the brolly. Steve McLaren. I always hear about how Steve McLaren's a fantastic coach. David Beckham said he's one of the best coaches. Some of the guys I know who've been involved with England, oh, McLaren's a brilliant coach. Yeah, but as a manager, my friend, the guy is all over the place. Jamaica, I've got no Mexico, no Canada, no America in the qualifying, and they're still stumbling over the finish line. Lost to Curacao 2-0. Lost to Curacao 2-0. This guy left big players out of the squad and then left some of the big players on the bench. They're calling up players from England who are supposedly at a higher level and then benching them in an international break. What is this guy doing? Seriously, what is this guy McLaren doing? It's madness. I don't understand what's going off. Even if they make the World Cup, I don't know if I'd give him the World Cup. Real talk, that guy is... Jamaica now are hanging on. They might end up in the playoffs and anything could happen there. So, yeah, man, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Curacao, bro, turned over Jamaica 2-0. It wasn't good. It was not good. His tactics were defensive football again. What is wrong with these managers nowadays? Every manager is scared to attack. I don't understand it. Every manager is scared to attack. It's like they can't attack. Oh no, we got to put 10 players behind the ball. Disgraceful. This international break has been a shambles. Jamaica, I thought, could have been qualified. They might not even make the World Cup now. Ridiculous, people, ridiculous. Thoughts on people? Yeah, listen, obviously, loads of people have spoke to me about it. Listen, I've done a show with Turkish since he left, haven't I? There's loads of people in the chat. What do you think about Turkish and James and everyone leaving? I've done a show with Turkish since he left. Listen, it's for those guys, first of all, to explain. It's not for me to explain. And what I've realized, people, is life goes on, man. Life goes on from every angle, every point of view. You've seen top players leave your football club. You think that's the end. I remember when Henry left, I thought the club was going to collapse. So obviously, yeah, man, Turkish left, James has left, and apparently Graham's now announced that he's leaving as well. So yeah, man, it's business, I suppose. It's the way it goes, man. It is the way it goes. I'll still be doing OGs with Turkish when we can. I think the plan was to do a show this week, but I think when I speak to him, I'm going to say let's leave it till next week. So let's be honest, there's not a lot to talk about this week. Next week we've got Fulham and Atletico Madrid. There'll be loads of talking points after those games. So yeah, man, I think we'll wait till next week because it's just so quiet this week. But yeah, big up to all the guys who've left, and obviously good luck to everyone who probably be focusing on their own channels. So yeah. But we move, people. We move. Let me read these super chats, then we'll move on. What's the difference between Arsenal and a book? A book has a title. You're a disgrace, it's Monday. It's my first show back in a little while, and you're going for us like that. Lockdown AFTV. You know what? I saw someone put a picture up. I think it was a watch along or something during lockdown. And when you look at the characters that were on that, it's like, yo, it was serious. You know what I mean? It was serious. I can't lie. That content was insane, man. It was insane. Yeah, I'm back on AFTV tomorrow with Cecil. Obviously, I was mash up last week, man. And I was out of town as well. So yeah, man, I'll be back on there tomorrow. But again, there's not a lot to talk about, to be honest. You should do a collab with James. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I spoke to James, so yeah. But yeah, man, he should. Yeah, CFC Baller should get a thingy for that. Curtis, just stay loyal. I learned in my life, you don't pick sides. You don't also play the fence. Their beef is not yours. Yeah, listen, and I know right now it's a situation where with people leaving the channel, it's probably created division amongst people. And people are going, all right, pick a side. Which one? Like my loyalty, I'm good friends with Robbie, and I'm good friends with Turkish, and that will remain, moving forward as far as I'm concerned. And that's the way it is, man. Yeah, sometimes you got to say, okay, it is what it is. Let them deal with it. Thoughts on Isak? Media says JG, he needs time to bed into the new league. He's been in it for 3 years. I think different clubs are always different, though, man. Some people think that playing in the same league doesn't need adaptation. It still can. Different manager, different style, different training methods. You will need time to adapt, Right, let's move on. Let's get into the show. Big up to everyone locked in. Hit the like button, people. Collab with Expressions. Yeah, maybe when we play Tottenham. He's a busy guy, though, man. He's doing so much work. I get on well with him, man. He's quality. Yeah, man. Here he is, man. Like and hype, people. Like and hype. Yo, what is this hype thing that I see on the streams now? I don't even know what it is. But whatever it is, just click it. If it helps, just click it. I actually don't know. You know me, I'm still on Hotmail, people. I don't know what this hype thing is. But like the video and hype up the video. Big up Turkish. Let the people know if Big Six is tonight. But again, a lot of people are just chilling. There ain't a lot to talk about. Let's talk about Jackie Wilshere. Let's talk about Super Jack Wilshere, people. He's officially a manager. He's officially a manager. Do you know what I couldn't believe? Jack Wilshere's 33 years of age. 33 years of age, man. The guy should be playing. He should be playing, to be honest. Not managing, but it is what it is. Injuries got the better of him. And he's taken the job at Luton Town, people. Official. Jack Wilshere has been appointed the manager of League One side Luton Town. It feels like a full circle moment for me. I was 8 when I first came to Luton as a boy, so you could say it's fate. My first full-time club managerial position is at the club. I'm delighted for him. I'm delighted for him. I've met Jack Wilshere on quite a few occasions. He runs an academy, a local academy, Jack Wilshere Academy. I think it's for kids up to about the age of 15. And my son's actually played against them before. And I've met him at a few games and I've spoken to him, and he always seems like a top guy. Lawrence said he looks shattered. And listen, he actually does look knackered now. He looks like he's been in the job for 6 months. Bro, you look this tired already. You give it 3 months in management, bro. You look like Trossard. And as you can see, the guy next to him, for the OGs who remember old school football, Chris Powell, former left back, Charlton Athletic. He's worked with England for a while with Gareth Southgate, which I think is always a good idea. If you're a young manager, 33 years of age, get experience around you. Get people who've been there and done it. Chris Powell, very experienced player and a very experienced coach. So I think that's a good appointment, man. And listen, this is when you know you're getting older. I know I always say this, but if you're my age or you're older or whatever, how crazy is it that players that you used to watch are now coaches and managers? I remember Jack Wilshere coming through at Arsenal. I remember Chris Powell playing left back against Arsenal. And now this guy's a coach with grey beard and that. Boy, time is moving, people. Time is moving. Good luck to Jack Wilshere. Maybe Arsenal drop 1 or 2 younger players to Luton on loan to help him out. But yeah, man, big up Jackie Wilshere, man. Better than being a youth team coach. Turkish said, community call-in tonight on the Big Six. New podcast out on my channel this week, and back to previews and reactions for Fulham. Life doesn't stop. We move. It doesn't stop, bro. In life, we have to adapt. We have to adapt. I spoke about it the other day. Lockdown. My job, I got the call, your hours are being cut. I said, you know what? I don't even like that job. I'm leaving. Let me go with this YouTube thing, see if it works. Might not have worked. Might not have worked, people. So you just got to roll the dice. And Natty said, see, y'all need to do a weekly show. Turkish troops and pots, that will be legendary. Yeah, listen, we're definitely gonna do some work. That's for sure. All of us, Proper throwback. Remember when he was at Charlton? Yeah. In fact, did he play in that game when Van Persie scored that volley? I feel like he might have. I could be wrong. Let's talk some waffles. What a name. Arteta, that should be his. Have you heard of the Cannon Pod? I think a collab with them would be class, as you have different thinking towards Arsenal. Listen, I always say, people, man, I'm very, my DMs are open. You guys know the email address. If people want to reach out, I don't have to just work with people who are like-minded. I'm prepared to speak to people with different opinions. Fugazi 1980 got engaged last night. Big up the C unit. Wanted to share with the community. Big up yourself, bro. Big up yourself. Them, what I'm saying? Them big man movements, them big man movements. I'll be honest, man. Growing up, I was like, marriage to me, it was like, I don't know. I always had this thought process that I don't really care about getting married. I just looked at it as more, I remember going to my friend's wedding and he had horses there and stuff like that. And I said, brother, how much this wedding costs, man? He said, yo, man, I had to take out a loan and all sorts. I thought, well, I ain't trying to get married if I've got to take out loans and, to get horses there and things like that. And you know, he was like, yo, it's like £80 a dinner plate, and the dinner plate was tiny. And I said, brother, £80 for this? Just get me some jerk chicken and rice, the the local shop round the corner. So I said, raw man, I said, listen, if I ever get married, I think I'm on the beach, white shirt, white shorts, and that's me. We ain't going church. I ain't spending 20, 30 grand, and there ain't gonna be no damn horses. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, man, I'm not on that. I'm not on that. Well, marriage is expensive, but so is a divorce, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, bro, I said, brother, you got horses. I said, I didn't know you had money like that. He said, yo, I had to take out a loan. I said, nah, I ain't taking out no loan. But listen, I'm putting a dampener down. Listen, big up. Congrats on the. He's probably good. He's probably thinking, what have I done? Nah, big up yourself, man. Big up yourself. Big man moves, man. You know what I mean? Make sure you have a good stag do as well. You know what I'm saying? Congrats, bro. It is more. You're right. It is more for the girls. It is more for the girls. You know, it means a lot to them. They want the same name. They want all of that. You know what I'm saying? Turk said, that's why I've been engaged for 3 years now. I need a collaboration. Do Pro Tom. Bro, I'm telling you. No, I swear down. You know how crazy that is now he said that, yeah. If I ever get married, I need a marriage company to sponsor me for the marriage. Trust me, everything. You can get, one thing I've realized doing content, if your channel is right, you can get most things for free. You know, if your platform's big enough and companies are willing to work, I'm gonna reach out to a wedding company and say, listen, sponsor me for 5 videos, but I need the wedding, in the Bahamas on the beach. I need everything covered, and I don't need no horses either. I do, but Scan, do you take this woman to be your lawful wedded wife? I do. But if you want to get married, 20% off. Use the code CurtisShawTV in the description below. No, I swear, that would be unbelievable. That would actually be unbelievable. I need my marriage paying for in the future. I ain't paying for nothing. But we don't need horses. We don't need horses. We definitely don't. But nah, big up. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Right, let me move on. And by the way, I don't want to put anyone off marriage with these comments, by the way. And we may have to edit this stream after. You know what I mean? Just to keep myself safe. Nah, I never edit it. Just leave it up there. Everyone knows what I'm like by now anyway. Right, even today, I'll be honest, people, there ain't that much to talk about. Well, which we might need to waffle through the show, to be honest. But there is a little bit. There is a little bit. Man did a super chat to get smoked. I know. I hope I haven't dampened your. Nah, congrats, bro. Big up yourself, man. Big people moves. Big people moves. Victor Gyökeres. I feel like I can't even remember what club football. I don't even know who plays for Arsenal anymore. I feel like Arsenal haven't played football for 6 months. This is the longest international break ever. Oh, yeah, I'm back, man. I'm back. I'm fully recovered. You know what I mean? I went gym yesterday. Said, yeah, man, let me sit. Yeah, man, I'm back. I'm back. The cold had me in a little, I was, the cold weather. When England sort of has that crossover period where the sun's not really out anymore, and the cold weather, man. One thing I've realized about me, I probably could do with living in a hot country, or certainly being out of the country for a few months, man. Genuinely think that I was, I'm a summertime baby. I think I need to be in a hot country, cold weather. I'm not a fan of it. I'm really not a fan of it. I need the sunshine. I think next international break, I'm gonna try and go abroad for a few days. I need some sunshine. Don said, Curtis, I bought an engagement ring. It's been 4 years, still not proposed. I mean, what are you doing, bro? You waiting for the price of gold to go up? What's happening? What are you waiting for, Don? You know what I mean? It's one of them. You buy the engagement ring, you get home, you're like, right, I'm gonna propose to her. Then she starts moaning at you, and you go, you know what? Not tonight. You don't even deserve it. Moaning at me because I haven't finished the dishes. And then before you know it, it's been 4 years. And yeah, it's a madness. Island boy for real, man. Trust me, man. I need that sunshine, people. Southern Goon, I've been out the loop due to work. Is this recent? Yeah, it is. Victor Gyökeres has collected the UEFA Nations League Top scorer award over the international break. 6 matches, 9 goals and 4 assists for Gyökeres. I am sort of... people were calling me Gyökeres' lawyer before the international break because I am defending him. Even though, well, I used to be Aubameyang's lawyer. But no, I'm still defending Gyökeres. I am still defending him, and I still believe he'll come good if he's allowed to by this manager. And we know that Kai Havertz will be back from injury soon, and you all know how that's probably going to work out as well, because you know he'll end up putting him back in the team. Do you know what? Let me just finish by, while we are doing up Lawyer FC, this is why I was such a big lawyer and advocate of a certain Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, right? This came up this morning, and I thought, Cardo said, don't blame this one on the manager. So a lot of people not having Gyökeres, you know, I swear. Look at this from Oba. Oba scored, by the way, again, 4 goals for Gabon, or 3 goals in one game. 815 games, 413 goals, better than 1 in 2. 116 assists, so you're looking at what, 529 GA in 815 games. 7 trophies, African Footballer of the Year, Arsenal Player of the Season, Premier League Golden Boot winner, Europa League top scorer, and League Player of the Season in the Europa League, Bundesliga Player of the Year, Bundesliga top scorer, Dortmund Player of the Season. I'm sorry, there was a reason. I wasn't this guy's lawyer for no reason. He was a serious baller, people. I think sometimes when you have a player and they leave, you don't realize how good they are until you try and replace them. When you try and replace them, you go, damn, we're still here now. Let's be real. Even if Gyökeres peaks at Arsenal, bags 20 goals this season, I don't think he's as good as Oba was at Arsenal because of the things that the guy was doing. Guy was scoring free kicks, scoring in FA Cup finals, chipping the goalkeeper. That guy had everything. And even when he left the club, I was still sitting here going, we've got it wrong. People going, he's washed. I said, he's not. The manager's washed him. And he went Barca and won the league. He went Marseille and bagged about 30 goals. He's still a baller. The celebration, the vibes, everything. Everything. Baller. But anyway, let me get him off screen because a lot of people don't like that convo. Matt said, sounds like Sweden know how to unlock the machine. Oba is an elite goal scorer even at his current age. Do you know the crazy thing? Sweden are in trouble though now because they were beaten by Granit Xhaka and Switzerland, and I think now they've got to beat Kosovo or they might not qualify. So they're in trouble. Apparently, I was reading a report that Sweden are having a lot of trouble fitting Isak and Gyökeres in the same team. They've been playing 4-3-3 with Isak on the left, Gyökeres through the middle. Against Switzerland, they played 3-5-2 with 2 strikers, played them both, and they got smoked. So this is what international football is so unique. Sometimes you can't get all your best players in the same team. Big up, Big C in the unit. We forget, including myself, changing teams needs adaptation. Even Isak has struggled. Yeah, and Isak effectively is doing pre-season during the season. He didn't play once in pre-season. 50 settings, you know. Yeah, Højlund balling out as well. International football and for Napoli. Have Norway qualified? That's big. That's big. They haven't qualified for a while. Oba stunk it out at Chelsea. Yeah, but it's Chelsea. Abel said, I'm from Sweden. People are fuming with the current state of the national team. You even look at England, people, at the moment. England have got ballers left, right, and centre, right? But they can't fit them all in the team together. They can't fit them all in the team. They just can't. Like, everyone's sitting there going, well, what do you do with this player? Foden, Palmer, Saka. You can't get all of them in the team. That's what Southgate tried to do. Pick all of them and just fit. Sometimes your system means a big player's got to get benched in order for you to have the best balance. Like I said, I always remember the interview with Vincent Kompany. He said when Man City signed Jerome Boateng, now Jerome Boateng had a great career, won the World Cup with Germany. He said him and Boateng, they just didn't connect. They then signed Lescott, who you would say Lescott is not as good as Boateng, and they had the perfect balance and won the league. So I think England have got to do that as well. You probably can't fit Foden, Saka, Palmer, all these guys in the team, but the balance has to be right. Sweden look awful. Gyökeres just gets scapegoated. He's at Arsenal now. His profile's bigger, so he will do. He will do. Isak and Bergvall cost them. Yeah, Bellingham and Tuchel seems to be a bit of a rift there, unless he's not fully fit yet. Ghana qualified for the World Cup, man. I'm delighted. I'm delighted, man, because they didn't even make AFCON. So to get to the World Cup is a massive boost. And congrats to Ghana. The Black Stars have made it to the World Cup. Let's Talk said, thoughts on Gyökeres being replaced in a year's time, the BTEC Lukaku. I think in football, if we get 12 months, 18 months down the line, listen, let's put it this way. I think at the end of this season, Arsenal should be buying a striker. How Gyökeres does depends on the level of striker that you go for. I think that Havertz should be out in the summer. 275, major injuries. I'd get rid of Havertz in the summer. I'd get rid of Gabriel Jesus. So for me, I would be buying a striker in the summer regardless. If Gyökeres is doing well, you get somebody that's maybe younger, that's more of a backup striker that can develop. If he doesn't develop, you go again. You go again, people, and that's the reality of the situation. We've seen it with Man City. We've seen it with other clubs. You buy a player, he's meant to be a top player, he's not as good. You go and get somebody else. You have to react. And sometimes I think the problem with Arsenal is they sign a player like Havertz, it's not working, and they go, give him another year, give him another year, give him another year. Before you know it, you've had 4 or 5 years of them, you know? Sometimes you've got to go, you're not quite as good as we thought you were, we'll buy somebody else, you know, and we'll give you more competition. So let's see. But hopefully he's a massive success, Gyökeres. But you can see there's issues at the moment with adapting. We've got to give him more service. Where has Tinchy Strider disappeared to? Yo, he used to come to my ends back in the day, man. He used to come to Notts, but I don't know, bro. I don't know. Maybe he's retired with that money, that star in the hood money, you know. I see Havertz at Bayern. Yeah, for me, Nicholas Jackson, they've got him on loan. Don't sign him. Go and take someone like Havertz for a cut price. You know, it would make sense. I save my points for your streams. I can't find the option. I don't know about all that. I will check. Big C, thoughts on Haaland? 23 goals, just 1 penalty. It's the best Haaland I've seen, to be honest. This is probably the best Haaland I've seen. He's phenomenal. Would Havertz take a pay cut? And that's the problem. Bayern will probably offer him less wages. But big up Gunarican TV, man. Big up yourself, bro. Hope your channel is going well. We got Tings in boots. Yo, bro, I've been in raves where Tinchy's just ripping it apart, man. You know what I mean? For a music point of view, I don't know if anybody's seen, but Dizzy Rascal and Wiley back together on a set, man, on the old school beats. It was crazy. Go and watch that, man. It's on YouTube. Have you seen Konate showing off his prem to Saliba? Yeah, man, I like that, man. I like that. I think he was signing a picture on international duty, and he basically just said it was, what was it? No, it was a picture of him holding up the prem. Sorry, he was holding up the prem in the Liverpool kit, and he was like, "This is going to be you this year, eh?" And he was like, "No, you're still the favourites. You're the champions." I like that. You know, it's good that that happens in the changing room. So yeah, man, I respect that. I respect that. But Saliba knows. Saliba knows. Yeah, I spoke about that. Jack Wilshere at Luton, big him up. I saw Dizzy and Wiley opening act for Jay-Z at Wembley Arena 2002. Wow, I mean, that is proper music heritage. Proper music heritage. Yeah, I think Zidane will get the French job after the World Cup. I'm surprised he hasn't got it sooner, to be honest. But they seem to love Deschamps. But Deschamps' another one that seems to be... I feel like Deschamps' been the French manager for too long. I think they should have moved on from him by now. But I think that World Cup tax has gone on for too long. I think they should have given Zidane the job already. When you got players like Doué and Dembele and Mbappe as your front three, Michael Olise, you don't want to give a team like that to Deschamps. Deschamps are very, defensive manager again. And, I think Zidane, imagine Zidane with Mbappe and players like that. It would be crazy. Anyway, let's move on because, again, I am slightly waffling, but we will get into it. Bukayo Saka, people. Yeah, Rabiot is like Deschamps' son, isn't he? He just finds a place for that guy all the time in the team somewhere. Bukayo Saka. Talks with Bukayo Saka regarding a contract extension at Arsenal are now nearing its conclusion. It is understood there is an absolute confidence at the club. Saka will sign the new terms. It's a matter of when, not if. And I did say, and again, I'm not doing up ITK. It's one thing I'll never do. If I hear whispers, I'll tell you and, just say. But I heard in the summer on tour that they said Saka's contract had already been verbally agreed. It was just a case of getting the deal signed. I heard 300 grand, some people saying 275. But it's going to make him top earner at the club, whether he's level with Havertz or he gets more than Havertz. Well deserved. I mean, he scored a fantastic goal for England against Wales. I honestly think this guy I think it's fantastic what he's doing at the moment. And what I mean by that is the injuries he's just sustained it can end people's careers. Like you listen to Daniel Sturridge, you listen to Michael Owen. That torn hamstring can finish you off, especially an explosive player who, is a winger and takes people on. I think credit to him. I think he's a strong lad. One thing I heard so much on the tour from people at Arsenal, and it's something that I've had to take into account when I'm making judgments of him. You speak to the staff, you speak to the people at Arsenal, they say he is so focused, he's so determined, he's so on his football in the sense that he's so driven. You get some footballers, you can see they're naturally talented. Of course, they want to be top players, but they probably turn up, train, go home. Everybody says Saka's mentality is like second to none. You never really see this guy get in trouble. You never see him coming out of a nightclub. You never see him drunk. He's just on. I want to be the best. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, he's got, he's strong, man, that Nigerian strength. You know what I'm saying? But he's proper. He's proper. But does he do stepper? Trey, I know, man. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I'm a skill merchant, people. I like to see players dish out, especially wingers, especially wingers. But what I will say about Saka is, listen, Saka's not blistering pace. He's got good pace, probably 80-odd pace on FIFA, right? He's not super skillful, but he's so good at what he does. Everybody believes when he cuts inside, something major is going to happen. And I've got a massive amount of respect for Saka. And of course, we love a bit of hip-hop crossover with the music as well. Two gunners, people. Two gunners. Gunner and Saka. Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. I believe Gunner was at a YouTube event on Saturday. I was invited to it, but I was still under the weather. I was getting better, but I couldn't be bothered to go there. It was some NFL tag game that they were doing at the Copper Box Arena in East London. But yeah, Gunner. Gunner's a funny one for me, right? And I'll be honest. Gunner the rapper, by the way, not Saka. Saka's legit. We all know that. Guys, let me know in the chat, guys and girls, if you're a hip-hop fan. Hip-hop for me, because I grew up in that generation where you had to be what you spoke. So if you was talking that greasy talk, you had to be that as well. And, if rappers were snitching or they were doing stuff, I had to kind of back away and go, nah, you're not 100. I can't mess with that music. Nowadays, you can be anybody. If the music sounds good, they'll rock with it. Gunner is one of these artists for me. I'll tell you the truth. When I heard the story with Gunner that he's meant to have snitched, to have got out of prison and stuff like that, I kind of said, nah. My old school mentality was, nah, these rappers, they talk that. But when I hear his music, it's almost impossible for me to not vibe to his music. His music is so vibey. I sit there and it always comes on like YouTube or it comes on. And I listen to his music and I go, oh, damn, that music's good. You know, I swear down. And I'm at the point now, I'm like, oh, God, he might have snitched, but damn, that music's good. I'm struggling. Maybe I got to let go of the old school mentality. Let me know in the comments, people. Am I moving like a unk? Do I have to just let it go? You know what I mean? I don't know. The music bangs, though. I can't lie. The music bangs. But I'm an old head when it comes to that hip hop stuff, man. But every time I hear a track, I'm like, oh man, that's good. Every track, the beats, it's crazy. It's absolutely, music's on fire. No, I don't think anyone does care anymore. I think that's the point we're at. They don't give a damn. His music's banging. It's funny because years ago I didn't think he was that good. I thought Lil Baby was a way better rapper than him, but now he's gone clear of Lil Baby. But I don't think I would. I'm not going to his concert though. I'm not going to his concert. I'm not a big enough fan of him to go to his concert. But he's got some big hit records though. But I'm old school, man. I still get in the car and put Mobb Deep on. You know what I mean? I'm still putting on Mobb Deep and old school 50 and Tupac. I don't listen to a lot of this new school hip hop. I really don't. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Yeah, he was at the game and he linked up with Saka. So yeah, it looked like a vibe still. And Saka got man of the match, by the way, or player of the match. I don't think you're allowed. I don't think they call them man of the match anymore. Player of the match, people. Player of the match, Bukayo Saka. Yeah, Mobb Deep's new album. I was listening to a bit of it. I think they had a listening party as well, didn't they? Nas was there as well. Nas Esco on One Tonight is gas. Yeah, his production is phenomenal. I can't lie. Microwave Palmer, Big C, does this Sky Sports, is that why it's Sky Sports News show that Haaland would have cooked under Klopp? He looks even more dangerous in transition. Side note, his mentality is rare and elite. I mean, I don't know why. I've had arguments on Twitter. I'm not sure why you have to argue about this, but I personally think Haaland is a phenomenal footballer. And a lot of people sort of downplay his talent by just calling him, he's just a poacher. The guy is incredible. He's incredible. 6'4", 6'5". He can run as well, by the way. Like when I went to season, there you go. Not Sky Sports, my bad. Does this season, you can tell I've been off the stream for a week. I'm calling it Sky Sports News. But yeah, you're right. When I watched him live, I said, yo, he's a big guy, And when you see him run, you go, how many players 6'5" can run like that and move the way he's moving? He is a beast. He's a beast. His movement is phenomenal. These defenders, he just dashes them off him most of the time. I think he's a fantastic player, Haaland. I think he's underrated, which most people will go, how can he be underrated? I think he's one of them players that if Man City win a game 4-0 and you go, oh yeah, Haaland scored a hat-trick, you just go, yeah, I expect that. Oh, we got some breaking news, people. We got some breaking news. Big up to you guys for letting me know in the chat. Injury news concerning Arsenal's captain. It's just broken from Sammy Mockbell. Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard is not expected to return to action until after the November international break due to the MCL injury. He's set to miss a minimum of 9 key games for club and country. Breaking news, people. Odegaard out until towards the end of November. Wow. We'll have a look. Let's have a look at the fixtures that are up until that time. I just kind of want to see when the next international break returns. I know that's obviously in November. So let's have a look at the games he's going to miss. The next international break is the 8th of November. We return on the 23rd of November. And we have got, the first 3 games back in November after this next international break. Tottenham at home, Bayern Munich at home, Chelsea away. So yeah, he's going to miss Atletico Madrid at home, Fulham away, Palace at home, Brighton at home, Burnley away, Slavia Prague away, Sunderland away. Listen, without being arrogant or disrespectful, like we can win those games without him, to be honest. We can win those games without him. I think now, for the first time since he's been at the football club, and I want to know what you guys think of this. Am I exaggerating when I say this? Are we now looking at Odegaard and saying, I mean, I've got to think how I word this, but have we now got to look at Odegaard and go, he shouldn't be a guaranteed player in this team anymore? You know, he's a very good footballer, but you're now looking at what, 3 injuries this season, ankle injury last season, hasn't been in great form for the last couple of years. For me, and I hope people don't take this the wrong way, I hope now Eze just balls out for us for the next 6-7 games. I hope Eze absolutely cooks and he actually can't even get back in the team. I'll be honest with you. I think sometimes you've got to evolve from certain players. You know, I think Odegaard is a very talented player, but he's not doing enough. I can't talk about 22, 23 Odegaard for years to come and go, oh yeah, but 22, 23, like we were having that conversation with Martinelli. Oh, 22, 23 Martinelli is amazing. Klopp said he's this, is his ceiling higher than Saka's? No, it's not. It's actually not. I'm going to change the title on the show just to, give it a bit more oomph, people. Give it a bit more oomph. I'm just playing the game. Breaking. Odegaard out. So how long's he out for? 6 weeks. He'll be out for 6 weeks. Odegaard out for 6 weeks. Yeah. Listen, it's your time. It's your time, Eze. Maybe even Waneri will get a little bit of game time now as well. What's that? 2? No, he's not out for too long, but 2 shoulder injuries. And now this. It's disappointing. It's disappointing. Listen, obviously, get well soon. Best wishes. We want everybody available. I look at this now. If we're looking at a positive angle on a negative situation, I'm looking at this now and saying, this is your time, Eze, now to get in that 10, to settle, to ball out, and make that your own. That's how I'm looking at it. Even when Havertz got injured, I thought, you know what? We don't want him injured, but it's an opportunity for Gyökeres to get settled. And we need to hope that happens. Right, there we go. I just edit in the title. Breaking news. Odegaard out for 6 weeks. I think that, yeah, Saka is the vice captain. Another thing that I don't agree with either. I think that's purely based on importance to the team that Saka gets the armband. It should be Declan Rice or Gabriel. So again, listen, Odegaard's still an important player, but I'm looking at it as an opportunity for Arsenal to maybe try and evolve from him and make Arteta understand that he's not necessarily as important as you think. It almost takes Arteta time to realise that, he plays a player constantly, and then you think we need to show him that he's not. Yeah, we're saying Eze, he'll probably play Marino and put Eze on the left. Don thinks Saka does deserve the armband. I don't think he does. I don't think he does. I don't think being a top player means that you should wear an armband. I think you've got to be a certain character to wear the armband. For me, it should be Declan Rice or Gabriel, not Saka. I want Saka to just focus on his game, but he'll get the armband. Listen, it's 6 weeks, MCL injury, so it's, ligament damage. And yeah, I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been worse, to be honest. If it was something, with these ligaments, you can easily be out for a few months. So 6 weeks, you'll have to rehab and stuff like that. So yeah, breaking news for anybody just tuned in. Odegaard will be out for a further 6 weeks and will not return until after the next international break in November. So he's out until effectively the 23rd of November, which is when we play Tottenham. So, yeah, we're going to have to... does he need to get stronger? I know I've joked about it before, pillow foot, this, that, the other. Does he need to get stronger, man? The Premier League is a very unforgiving league, man. And, every time he goes into a challenge now, I expect him to be injured, and be on the floor. I don't know. This is what we've got coming up, people. So, obviously, this weekend, Fulham, Saturday night football... 5:30 kickoff. That's a tough game, by the way. I think people have to understand. Fulham away is the kind of game what worries me. That's the kind of fixture that ruins our season. We've had a bad record against teams like Fulham. We then got Atletico Madrid on Tuesday and then Palace. So I'm telling you now, that is a hard week. That is a hard week. Palace, the only unbeaten team in the Premier League. Fulham away, tricky game. Ex-Arsenal players there. Atletico are in good form at the moment. Tuesday night, that'll be a tough game. Brighton in the EFL Cup, which I actually think is a very important game because I really want Arsenal to win the EFL Cup. The fact it's earlier in the season, you get a confidence boost. I want Arsenal to... Oh, Palace lost. No, you're right. They lost to Everton. Yeah, nobody's unbeaten now in the Premier League, actually. Jack Grealish scored, didn't he? Yeah, forgive me. Burnley, yeah. And then, obviously, Slavia, Prague, and Sunderland. Now, I'll be honest. Even without Odegaard, I mean, to be honest, outside of... It might not happen like this, but I would expect Arsenal to win every game between now and the international break. In terms of, I believe we're favourites. Fulham away, we should beat them. Atletico Madrid are very good, but at home, I'd expect us to beat them. Palace, yeah. Brighton, Burnley, Slavia, Prague, Sunderland. Now, football doesn't always work like that. We know that. Football's not... It's not, played on paper. We could go to Fulham and get beat. We could get a red card against Palace. Anything can happen. So, yeah, it doesn't necessarily work like that. But I'll be honest, I expect Arsenal to win every game between now and the next international break. Atletico Madrid is very tough, but I'm expecting every game a win. But would I be surprised if we drop points in some of them? No, I wouldn't. I actually think Fulham away is a tough game this week. It's just one of them places that we've struggled. So let's see how that works out. Just in terms of when he returns. So he's going to miss all of those games, Odegaard. Then we got the international break after Sunderland. Look at the run after the international break. So we got Tottenham at home, Bayern Munich at home, and Chelsea away 3 games in a row. There's no international break after the November one until March. So, yeah, there's a long break after that. Gunnar Carlos, the lack of noise from the Scouts the past week. Yeah, 3 defeats out of 3. I actually think the international break came at a bad time for Arsenal and a good time for Liverpool. I think Liverpool needed the international break, a little reset, allow Slot to calm down and think where we were playing well and winning. The international break I don't think necessarily will have helped us. But hopefully we can pick up where we left off. Just looking ahead, actually. This weekend's fixtures. Liverpool play Man United at home on Sunday. I think we'll do a watch-along for that. And obviously, we're looking for a Man United win, which is crazy. We've obviously got Fulham away on the Saturday. So if we can win on Saturday, we'll be 4 points clear. That puts a bit of pressure on Liverpool, which is what we need to do. So what we need to do, people. Rice, Eze and Ethan midfield, ball out. Is he brave enough to do that? I'm sure he'd put Marino in before he put Swaneri in, but I would love to see that. Jonathan said, I have a feeling United grab something at Anfield. It's just whether they can put that pressure on them. Man United have won their last 2 games in the Premier League. Liverpool have lost their last 2. So if they can go there, deal with that Anfield noise and maybe grow into the game a little bit. But United, I still think United will get beat. I still think they look poor. collectively. But you never know. You never know. An early goal. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, people. But yeah, obviously we had some breaking news. Odegaard is out for another 6 weeks with the MCL injury. And he's obviously already been out for a couple of weeks. So yeah, couple of months that injury has kept him out for by the time he comes back. The problem that you have a lot of the time, and I've had a medial ligament injury before that kept me out for about actually 6 weeks as well. It's the rehab. You've got to get your legs strong. You know, you've got to do. Sometimes it says 6 weeks. Yeah, you might be fit after 6 weeks, but you're not strong after 6 weeks. So sometimes it's even longer, to be honest, you know, because the gym work, obviously, they've got better facilities, better rehab, and things like that. No, they're saying a further 6 weeks from this point, Don. Basically, a further 6 weeks from this point. Light of the world, Curtis fans need to pray and give thanks for the Eze addition. Arsenal midfield needs creativity. Eze's name in Nigerian, Igbo language means mercy of God. It's and this is what I'm saying. Sometimes negative situations lead to positive outcomes. Havertz's injury is a negative, but it leads to a sign in Eze. Can you imagine right now, with Odegaard injured, with no Eze, what would have happened? I mean, we would have hoped that Waneri would have played, but he might have just gone with Marino, which we don't want to see that in midfield. So that Eze signing was so necessary. It was so necessary. Hi Curtis, I looked at the fixture list. My big nightmare is on April the 18th. We go to the Etihad and we lose to Man City. Nah, listen, that's so far off. I think there's so many hurdles to overcome before that. But I hear you. We need to go and beat Man City at the Etihad, man. I know times have changed, but we used to slap them up at the Etihad. I know that was before all the dough, but we owe them a victory, that's for sure. Let it all work out once again. Let's hope Eze can ball out or run games. What do you have to? Oh, I didn't speak. I didn't know. I did speak about that last week on the. I did a pre-record. So obviously they're talking about upgrading the Emirates Stadium to 70,000, which could lead to a potential move to Wembley for about half a season, I think. Listen, my thoughts on that is that I think the Emirates does need a revamp. I think the stadium looks a bit tired. I think people have to understand that we were ahead of the curve. We moved stadiums before nearly every club did it. So at the time, the Emirates was seen as a very good, modern, new stadium. Since then, your Manchester Cities, your Tottenhams have moved stadiums, and they're way ahead of the curve now. You know, their stadiums are 10 years newer than ours. So yeah, I do. I mean, look, 2006 we moved in. I think it does need to be upgraded, but my thing is, I want to see Arsenal win trophies first. You know, I think apparently what they were saying is Arsenal wanted it to go up to 80,000, but due to building restrictions, there's a lot of difficulty with doing up that stadium because there's houses and flats and apartments surrounding the stadium. You need permission and things like that. I think they can only go up to 70,000, which will add another 10,000 to the stadium. So yeah, I think that's the issue. So we can add about another 10,000, and that will mean a move to Wembley. I don't mind that. You know, Arsenal have played at Wembley in the past, back in the day, and obviously it's better than playing at the Tottenham Stadium, which is the other close one, which we wouldn't want to be playing there. Yeah, there's a railway track behind it. It's all difficult for them to do building work. I mean, from my point of view, Arsenal's fan base is big enough to take that to, yeah, probably 100,000. We could fit. I believe we could fill 100,000 capacity stadium. We've got a massive fan base, but it's just the building work. It's just the building work's probably not able to do it, which is a shame. But yeah, just win the league, then go Wembley. Imagine Arteta. Listen, guys, William, I want you to sign a new contract. I'm going to take you to Wembley. Oh my God, we're going to win trophies. Mikel says we're going to Wembley. No, we're not going to play in the FA Cup final. We're moving there while we redevelop the Emirates. Oh no, I've signed the deal. I should have gone Madrid. It's just who we are, guys. The most attacking redevelopment in football history, guys. 70,000 guys. 70,000. Unbelievable. But yeah, man. You've been waiting for a season ticket for years. Yeah, I mean, they were going a couple of years ago when we were struggling. A lot of people were getting rid of them. But because we're having a better period than we were a few years ago, they're much more difficult to get. Olympia said, having withdrawal symptoms with no big C, happy to hear from seeing the lovely community. Told the Arsenal fan group in Singapore to follow this group. Keep it up. Big up, man. Appreciate that, Olympia. And big up everyone in Singapore. I had a great time in Singapore, man. Really good place. Nice people, very modern. The food was good. I actually really enjoyed it. The accent is wild. It is necessary. It is necessary. That is for sure. Big up to Cheeky Legend who said his wife's nan passed away last night. She's devastated. Can you give her a shout out and send some cheer, please? Her name's Edda. We both love your streams. Eda or Edda, apologies if I've got the name wrong, but big up to you. You're in the community's thoughts. Big up to Cheeky Legend. And listen, man, stay strong and, support each other through a difficult time. And community's giving you shout outs as well. So we send nothing but positivity to you guys. The final story, people, before I round up, is Zubimendi has won Premier League Goal of the Month for his volley against Nottingham Forest, and it is we don't often win Goal of the Month actually because number one, we don't shoot from outside the penalty area that often. Usually, a Goal of the Month for Arsenal would probably be 20-30 pass move that leads to a goal. But yeah, man, it's a cracking goal. It was a cracking goal, I can't lie. I can't believe he got nominated for Player of the Month, though. I don't actually think he had a great month for Arsenal, but it was a fantastic goal, and looking forward to seeing him back after the first trophy of the season. Yeah, we'll take it. Emirates Cup, the Florida Cup, and the Singapore Cup, people. We're on for the quadruple. Yeah, man. Yeah, Trey Ab said, can't lie, Singapore is where I'm trying to go in the new year. Honestly, fantastic place to go to. Brilliant place. Expensive, a little bit expensive, but very, very nice. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, there you go, people. There you go. Congrats to Zubby Dubby Doo. I'm going to round up there, people. Big up to everyone locked in. Really appreciate your support. If it is a quiet news day tomorrow, we may just do that Emirates team tomorrow. Worst Arsenal team of the Emirates era, people. Because there's not a lot going on. I want to do worst team of the Emirates era, best team of the Emirates era, 100k stream, and we'll try and do a member stream as well. We'll get as much done as we can. Big up to everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it after a quiet week last week. Great community as always, and we'll obviously be back to the watch-alongs this weekend when we play Fulham. So looking forward to it. Big up to everyone. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all tomorrow, people. Bless